Alrighty, so let's go over what happened next after my career smashing, breaking records trading day. The immediate weekend following that day was a Success Resources seminar event. That was where one of my trading coaches, my very first one, actually Coach Sandy, who I mentioned probably at the start of this video chapter, he was there too. So my coach from London, all the way from London, who I haven't seen for a couple of months. I've seen him 3 times this year, but it had been a few months. So I was looking forward to that weekend because I wanted to have a few words with him. Essentially, I realized that I've become a good trader now, but it had nothing to do with any of the techniques that he taught. The foundations are always there, but the technique is my own. And so I didn't really know how to psychologically grapple with that. I had a conversation with him, and the conversation just boiled down to, you've gone and done the right thing, Adam, because his methodology of teaching is getting started and making sure that you're not dependent on him for the rest of your life. Um, he'll give you a few tools and techniques, but if you've tried them and they aren't working for you, by default, then to continue your knowledge, you have to go on your own. So that was just a big relieving feeling because it's almost a 5-year journey now um, with this whole trading career, and it feels like it's finally all gone full circle. I then said to him, Sandy, can I tell you the techniques, 2 of the 3 techniques that I'm using? He said, sure. And I did. And he said something to the effect of, fantastic. Those 2 techniques that you just told me about are techniques that I cover in a very advanced course. And I know that these advanced courses of his exist, but in the almost 5 years of knowing him, I've never once heard him offer it. And so those courses he doesn't normally offer. And I'm just so glad that I managed to figure it out. It was a great relieving feeling. So I said to him at the end of that, Sandy, the next time I see you, I'm going to be making my first significant fortune. And it's because of you. And so it's just a big thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing him next year as a result. So, yeah, this is a kind of different, like I mentioned in the previous video, this is a kind of different take on the Trading Journal series, because this is pretty much just a story. But there's some trading involved, because 3 people, but in 2 separate groups. So one group, which was 2 people who I knew, and the other group is just 1 person. But those 3 people combined overheard my conversation with Sandy, and they came to me after that conversation and said, can we please go for coffee and just chat about the stuff that you figured out? And so I said, sure. As long as you understand that I'm still on demo, I'm still tweaking things, and the conversation may very well just be the blind leading the blind. But if anything that I do say does help you, then fantastic. Let's do it. Let's go meet up for coffee. So I met up with one group that day. There was a small break during the seminar day, and I met up with the individual person the following day. And so I pretty much just went through with that person what I call my 3 psychological rules. Because my psychological rules are really what made the difference. To boil them down is not something that I want to go over in this video, but it essentially goes back to the old axioms, the old sayings that all the traders seem to know, which is cut your losses quick and let your profits run. My psychological my 3 rules, they've got their own kind of stories to them. And the reason why I don't really want to go in depth into them is because I don't know where this channel is going to go in the future. And I don't know if there's a career ahead of me in teaching this stuff. So for now, I'm going to keep it all under wraps. But I do have 3 psychological rules and a bonus rule, which I pretty much just mentioned. It was the whole point of the previous video, which is I'm not going to trade sideways on a 1 minute on a 1 minute chart. So that's the bonus. But there's an extra sentence, however, that fits into my 3 psychological rules. So really it is those rules. That's really what changed the difference for me and made me that next level of professional trader. So here's where I'm at now. No, we're not there yet. The story isn't done. Okay, so following those discussions with those 2 groups, I then went and I did some more demo trades. In one case, it was with that one individual person, and then following from that, so that demo trade practice session with that one individual person, that took place on the 26th. And then the following day, on the 27th, I did some more demo trades at home on my computer, recording videos for that other group of 2. And because I was in teaching mode, there are some things that I wasn't full on focused on, but there were noticeable profits. And that's the whole thing. My whole concern was, would it be the blind leading the blind? But the results don't lie. So I'm going to read out to you the results of the 26th, and then I'm going to read out the results of the 27th. So the 26th, the first trade was so all trades for both days took place on the German DAX. For the 26th, I first started with $1 per point, and then I moved it up to $3.30 per point, because that was in line with my spreadsheet, which I mentioned in the previous video. And also that was because I just finished talking about the spreadsheet concept and teaching it to that one individual person. So, but already you can see my psychological rule is in place with that learning that I experienced from the previous video of to cut bad trades quickly. So, first trade of the 26th was a $3.40 loss. And my whole thing is, in my head at the moment, is 3 points. That's how quick I want to cut it. Moving forward with my practice trades, that's how quick I want to cut it. 3 points, wrong direction, I'm out. Simple as that. So I'm happy with that loss. The others, so the next one, $7.40. For teaching purposes, because it was live, like I was teaching there with this individual. So it was an acceptable loss for me. The next one, $3.90 loss. Another thing to keep in mind is all of these, for some reason, on both days, when I was doing these live trading sessions, which were practices and also teaching, the market was in sideways movements. So like it was just really frustrating, because that completely goes against the whole like rules that I'd put into place. But at the same time, I needed to show these individuals what a good trade looks like and what a losing trade looks like, and what to do according to how I play the game with both instances. Unfortunately, it was sideways movement. So, I mean, we shouldn't have even been trading in the first place. That said, you don't know what the market is going to do every minute and every hour. So I'm not going to sit there and wait and wait and wait for a move that's not going to come. That's just the market. It's like trying to predict Mother Nature. So all I have is what's going on at the moment, and I made that very clear with both students in inverted commas that even though I do need to show you practice trades, right now I'm showing it to you in the worst time, which is a sideways movement. So please, in the future, do not trade. Follow my rules. Cool. So now we get to the first win. So the first win, $6.60 of that day. Next up, a loss. It was 90 cents. That's how quick I was out. So I'm liking that. Next one. Now, after that, I went and I showed the spreadsheet. And now we're doing $3.30 per trade. So, next one, $13.53 profit. Next one, big loss. I don't know why I didn't cut it here or what the rationale was. I simply cannot remember. But the loss here is $23.10. Wait, hang on. I remember. Cool. So that $23.10 loss, that was later on in the day. For some reason, my psychological stuff, it still just wasn't there. My rationale was 5 points. And then if it moves beyond 5 points, then cut. But now my rationale has gone even further, 3 points. Because 5 points is it's too much. Because you can't just see 5 and then cut it. Sometimes it goes to 5, 6, 7, 8 before, so fast. So I like my barriers. I've got my stop loss, which is the average true range. I haven't even mentioned this in the previous video, but for those who are standard students, you will know what that is. For those who generally understand what trading is, you would understand the importance of that volume-based indicator. So I've got that, and that dictates to me what the stop loss is. But for me, I've got mental stop losses. Prior to this recording, my mental stop loss said 5 points, and I was happy with that. But now I'm no longer happy with that. 3 points. So now even if the market takes off 3 points, 4, 5, at least I know that I've got 3. Cool. So that $23, that was so the lesson had ended. I remember I had some dead time before my next client. And so I went to a coffee shop and I just figured, I was like, cool, let's lock it in. Let's try to trade some more. And that was silly. I shouldn't have done that because clearly look at the result. However, that said, it's like, even, it's just, all I can do is laugh because however that said, the following trade was a winner and it pretty much almost got back that loss. So the following trade was $18.48 and then that was the final one of the 26th. Cool. Next day. So remember the 27th, the next day, that was now me recording video in video format for the group of 2. And it's again, I was in teacher mode and my focus is on how can I best hold my camera to see the best places on the screen at this given moment while the trade is live. I wasn't in I'm a trader trading now focus mode. I was in teaching mode. So please do understand that when you hear the results. That said, I'm happy with the results. So the first trade of the day was a loss. $9.57. Also, again, sideways movements. So there's nothing I can do when the market's moving sideways. Okay, and there were only 3 trades that I did that day too. So started off with a $9.57 loss. Second trade, $21.12 loss. Third trade, phenomenal. 32-point run, and it was $105.93. So that effectively cancels out those 2 previous losses. And that was my final trade. The 27th of November. I haven't opened up the account. I haven't opened up the account. And simply just because December's been so busy. Right now, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to tell you where the demo account currently stands after that $100 profit and all those other ones. So currently it's at minus 974.41. So friends, here's where we're at. 974.41. Here's where we're at. It is now the final week and a bit until 2025. There are market holidays from Christmas onwards. And also from Christmas onwards, my life starts getting busy again. I've got maybe a day or three where I can just kind of relax. So on top of that, I've received an email from Trade Nation, my broker, and they are completely revising their demo trading platform, quite possibly also revising how they're structuring their live trading platform. In the email, it says that from the 4th of Jan, they will be deleting all demo accounts, which is sad. It's really sad because I've got history with this demo account. But yeah, they'll be deleting all of it, and if you want, you can already start and kind of rip off the band-aid and already apply to get access to their current new way of doing the demo accounts and their new format. I've got an unknown fear concern of what is it going to look like, and I hope it doesn't mess up my flow and everything that I've managed to figure out. I just don't know. Bit of a fear of the unknown. So that's the one thing that's coming up next. I just don't know what this new platform is going to look like. I really do hope that it looks the same. And the only way to find out is to rip off the band-aid. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do that soon. What else can I tell you? Yeah. I also had another thought, and that was to readjust my capital risk management spreadsheet. So in the previous video, I said that everything was set to ×3. I've now adjusted it to ×5 for Dow Jones and for Germany, and ×7 for Japan. I think simply because with demo account you have free money and the money's always there. With my live account, with the money that I've worked so hard to save for, and with the money that has been given to me from one of my clients, so I can manage that money for him, effectively making me a money manager, I value that money so much. I value my skill set so much, and I also value not losing it. Because I've seen at ×3, the $3.30, even at that, I can see just how quickly those $25 can smash that account. Bear in mind, back then, my stop loss skill, or my stopping trades that were bad skill, wasn't as developed as it is now. But even still, I've seen it, I've experienced it, I've felt that pain. I don't want to feel that pain anymore. So here's where we stand with the adjustment. With Dow Jones now at ×5, it means that with the amount of money that I have in my account, in my live account, it means I can now trade at 90 cents per point, whereas previously it was probably $1 up, something like that. Germany, I can now trade at $2 per point, which is actually fantastic. Previously $3.30, $2, I can work with that. Japan, I can trade at $70 per point. I still have not experienced trading Japan yet, but I really just want to check it out properly because it is such a liquid market. The spread is tough. It's going to be a challenge. The spread is 4 when the market is live, whereas the spreads are 1.5. A 4-based spread, is manageable when on a minute it still just takes off so quickly. And I think with this kind of money management, $70, 70 cents per point, it's gonna do really good for me. So that's how much I can trade at the moment with my current live account, and I don't want to put in any extra money into it. What am I aiming for? That's the next question. Well, I'm aiming for my first million of real money in rands in my account. And I've figured out that that number in dollars is around the $70,000 mark. I reckon I can get that very quickly. I mean, just look at my previous trading day. In 4 hours, I managed to win $900 slash 515 points. If you take away the sideways movements and if you take away the unsharpened skill that of me not stopping my trades when I could see them, basically, I can see it will go very fast. So January, Feb, that's when it's going to happen by default. I'm very detached to it, but at the same time, I know that that's when it's going to happen by default, just because of how I know my skill set right now. So that's one thing that I can tell you. And then from there, it's upgrading equipment, and I'm very excited for that. What else can I tell you, friends? Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being on this journey with me. I'm excited to see where this career goes. The next video I'm probably going to post, if I don't do some more trading, let's see what happens. But if I don't, then I'll definitely post a 2024 wrap-up video and what to look forward to in 2025. And I've already got some cool stuff cooking up. So until then, friends, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed part 2. Good luck with your trading. Good luck with your businesses, whatever it is. Just keep in mind that it's all money at the end of the day. And money is an energy. And you have relationships with certain energies. What is your relationship with the energy of money? Because it's going to be with you, whether you like it or not, till the day that you die. And that's okay, because it's going to be with everybody else too. But look at your relationship with it, and have you been working on it in here? Because when you work on it in here, that's the key that unlocks the door. Everything else just happens by the wayside. I've done a lot of work here, and that's why finally I'm able to detach from it. A big lesson that I learned recently was I've overcome from trading the fear of being wrong. And in life in general, I've overcome that fear. But a real lesson that recently hit me was I didn't allow myself permission to overcome the fear of being right. So it's a confidence thing, but I never gave myself permission. On top of that, another conversation that I had with a friend of mine allowed me to walk away from that conversation and say to myself, for the first time in my life, I actually give myself permission to be rich. Not like I want to be rich or it would be nice to be rich. It's just I give myself permission to be rich. So it's funny what these subtle things in mind make big differences, and you don't even know because they're working on autopilot. So what do you need to give yourself permission to be? Deep down. And when you feel it deep down, and it's a knowing there, and it's there, and you know it, that's when you know. That's when you know. But if you're just fooling around with, oh, it would be nice to be rich, or, oh, it would be nice to have these things, and, oh, no, I really want it. If you feel like you're bullshitting yourself, then you probably are. And if that's the case, then you can walk away with some forgiveness. Don't guilt trip yourself or shame yourself into it, but walk away from that, because it's an indication that you haven't given yourself permission. You need to do some more deeper diving into it. All these things are lessons at the end of the day. That's why I love trading, because it's literally money energy teaching you lessons of how to use it correctly and how to apply it correctly. The lessons are always there, staring at you in the face. Are you willing to see them, and are you willing to learn? I'll end off with that. Thanks for listening, friends. Till the next one. Go well.